I wanted to take just a moment and talk to y'all about what's going on. Today is the men's stakeout, and what it is all the men, they just bring their own steak. Usually me and Craig, we put it on the barbecue grill and we grill it, and we make jalapeno poppers, which would be the only vegetable, by the way. But it's important that we get together like this for men, and especially the women. But for the men, as we get together and we just kind of hang out, we break bread together, we share stories, everybody's always caught the biggest fish. You know how it goes when men get together. And then we eat dessert, and it's a wonderful time. So if you didn't get to make it this time, I want to encourage you, next time, come and join us. And tell me you're coming, and I'll even buy your steak.
I think one of the most important things for the United States, for the world, is fathers to step up to their responsibilities to their children. Because too many men are walking out these days. They're just walking out. That's not the way you do it. You stand, you make a stand for Jesus, you make a stand for your children, your wife, and you'll change the world. If we can get the men of the church all going in the same direction and all in one accord, we can change the world.
I think being a good father is one of the most important jobs of our life as men. I've got 2 daughters, and more than anything, I've always told them Jesus Christ is the most important person you'll ever know. As far as men getting together, the Bible says iron sharpens iron, and we take our troubles to one another, we take our joys to one another, we get insights from God, from each other. And I can really see it's like God's made us like a jigsaw puzzle that's put together to show Jesus to the world.
A father means to me is a man does what he says and does what he needs to do. He's a protector, he's a provider. As God is our protector and our provider, that's the example that we need to look at. Sometimes as men, we can think that we're doing a good job, and we think we're at our max on our potential. But then you see men that are doing more and they're managing more. It helps to bring out that potential in you that you never had.
So what does being a father mean to me? Well, God gave us the perfect example. He is our father. He's the one who leads by example. He's the one who loves unconditionally. In a nutshell, that's what we're supposed to do. So what is gathering together as men? We'll look at it. We're in the glorious outdoors. We're eating steak. We're in the fellowship of one another amongst the men that we serve alongside, the men that we develop relationships with and bonds with, pray together for. My voice is shaky because I'm passionate about it, and I'm passionate about these guys. So I encourage you to join on the next one.
Being a father, wow. I gotta say, my father wasn't really in my life, so now I get a chance to become a better father than he was to my kids, and that's a great feeling. Just to be there for them, talk to them, just love them. Being here with the brothers means a big deal. Love you guys. I know nothing but good things are coming for me being around you guys.
Being a father means to me that sometimes you don't necessarily father your own children. I never had a father in my home growing up, but what I did have was the influence of godly men and gentlemen from our church that made it a point to be an influence in my life. Even though I wasn't their child, they still did what they could to help my grandmother and I, and to help me grow up to be a young man of God. And so I like to think I'm a little bit of a testimony of what can happen when the men of a church step up to the plate and decide that they're going to take responsibility for the young people in their church. I think it's important that we get together as men to bind together, because there's strength in numbers. The Bible says that a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. And we live in a society where masculinity and the idea of a traditional role of being a man has come under absolute fire and attack by the enemy. The devil's using everything from legislation in Congress to the viewpoints of Hollywood to the viewpoints of the education system to try to take the traditional masculine, manly man that God intended to be there out of the picture. But together, when we get together and encourage each other as men of God, we can stand up and be the leaders that God has called us to be, to overcome these attacks of the enemy and to shine as the city that's on a hill that cannot be hid.
Well, first off, what it means to me to be a father is it's shown me a depth of love that I didn't think I was capable of before I had children, and I believe it's given me a real understanding of the type of relationship that our Father in heaven desires to have with us. What I think it means for us to have a relationship with our brothers in the church is that I believe that it's very important, as the Bible says, iron sharpens iron, and I've learned an infinite amount from the men that I've come up under in this church, such as Charlie and Danny and Paul, and just the different men, and even men my own age. And I feel it incumbent upon myself to pass on life's experience to the young guys coming up in the men's ministry now.
Yeah, one of the things that for as a father is just watching the children grow from the time you cut the umbilical cord, as they go through years and go through school and meet their friends, and then when they grow up to be productive citizens, then it's just a blessing to see the kids nowadays. You know, when they're out teaching their kids, or getting together with men of faith. It's a lot easier to talk to men of faith than it is with family members sometimes, or talking with co-workers or something like that. Because when you talk with and meet is a gathering with men from the church and men of faith, and you know that they're men of faith, then those things that you have one-on-one conversations with someone, that's usually what's going to stay.
Well, I'm both a stepfather and a father. And all my boys, I call them mine. Even though my oldest 2 have different last name, I raised them and have a relationship with them. Betty and I had Jordan, and he's turned out to be okay, pretty good kid. Even my own granddaughters, they call me Grandpa Big John, and I love it. So, whether you're a stepfather or a father, the investment of love into a young man, or I have all boys, into a young man is beyond words. As far as getting together as a group of men, first of all, we eat good. Second of all, we can tell lies, and our wives don't have to sit there and go, well, that's not the way it happened.
Hey, my name is Eloy, and I do a men's ministry, Men for Jesus. I'll tell you what, being a father is the ultimate reward. But having men under you and helping you and helping you grow as a father is even better. I've got 4 beautiful children. They're just beautiful, and I thank God for them. You know, when men get together, just to gather, have horseshoe games or a barbecue like we're doing today, what a beautiful time. When men can gather together and really just say, man, I needed this. I needed this fellowship. Because what it does is builds character in a man. When he can spend time with another man and say, I need you, brother. I love you, brother. I need someone that I can lean on.
When I was growing up, we used to always get together as family. And me and my family was always close, my aunts, my uncles. Matter of fact, we all usually lived fairly close together. And as I'm coming into the church and I'm starting to see families growing and people moving in and people moving out, it's important as men of God to get together and share with each other. You know, when we get together as men, we can talk together. We can talk about like-minded things. And like my brother John says, we can tell whatever story we want, and our wives ain't there to tell us we're full of baloney. But I think it's important that we get together as men, because iron sharpens iron. Because something I might be going through, somebody else may be going through, and not being able to say it, and then we get together and we can share that. We can be a part of each other. We can be a part of each other's lives and break bread together. That's what we do on these men's stakeouts. We get together, we make jalapeno poppers, we cook steaks. I don't think we have any vegetables, which is fine with me. But it's a lot of fun. We share stories, we just relax, we kick our feet up, we eat, and all the wonderful, wonderful wives make desserts. So I want to encourage you, if you weren't able to make it to this one and you didn't make it to the last one, we got another one coming up in about 2 months. So I want to invite you, personally invite you, come on man, come, get together with us. Give up one of your Saturdays, come and have a good time with us. You will not regret it. And if you go away hungry, it's your own fault.